when I was 16, I joined the army. I was always fit through that. I've always been running. I've always cycled. I do triathlon. Been doing that since 1999. And all of a sudden, I was cycling to work up a hill, and I just had to stop and push my bike. And I've never in my life had to get off my bike and push it, which was a downer. And that were it then. I knew there was something wrong.
My brother was born with a genetic kidney disorder, which meant that one kidney wasn't there or disappeared, and the other kidney reduced in function quite significantly up until probably about you were like 18 or 19.
Yeah, it went steadily and then rapidly dropped in the last few years.
Because my kidney function dropped so rapidly, I was down to 5% by May. I was more or less rushed on to peritoneal dialysis, where basically I opted for the home one because it didn't interfere with my work life. Being a police officer, I wouldn't really be allowed or expected to be able to just pull up in a car and hang a bag up and do my dialysis during the day. So I opted for the nighttime one.
Dialysis, I had good days and bad days. My bad days was I felt sluggish. I was sick most of the time. When sometimes even being on the machine, I had to come off to be sick.
It was obviously a way of keeping me alive, dialysing, and you've got to be grateful that there's obviously something there for you to be kept alive, so to speak. But it's not an easy path. No one can explain to you. I actually felt quite isolated and quite lonely. The type of work that I did involved working 12-hour shifts. I couldn't complete my 12-hour shifts because I'd have to dialyse every day, and it's a minimum of 8 or 9 hours. My routine would be to get to work, finish work, come home, spend maybe half an hour with the kids downstairs, have something to eat. I'd then go upstairs, have a wash. I'd go and have a wash and prepare the machine and basically jump into bed.
It was difficult because most people my age were out at the weekend, staying out till 3, 4 in the morning, drinking, doing whatever, and I couldn't. I had to be back at home by 11 o'clock to have 8 hours on my machine. So that was a really hard time.
When I was dialysis, I was strict, I can't go, I can't drink this, I can't that, So that's like prison, I felt that time.
Being quite a positive bloke and always looking on the bright side of life, I remember times where it was so hard and horrible that I was sat on the edge of bed thinking, well, I might just not bother. I might just let nature take its toll and just not bother. Many a time I've been sat on the edge of bed crying and wife's sort of slapping me saying, pull yourself together. And because within the family we do Secret Santa, I sent a text out on the 20th of December saying, anybody got me in Secret Santa, I'll have a new kidney please. And other than the expletives that I got back, I was asked if I was kidding, and I said no, it's no joke. I could do with a kidney sooner or later. Straight away, my brother-in-law came forward, Andy, which luckily is younger than me, fitter than me. So straight away I snapped his hand off, and Andy donated his kidney to me.
I was the family member who was best in the best position to donate, simply because obviously you have close family relations, matching blood type, matching tissue type, everything. So that's how it kind of came about, and I was happy to hand one over.
And then my brother offered, and at the time I kept saying no, I didn't want it. I didn't want him to suffer through my misfortune. And he just turned around and said, if the roles were reversed, wouldn't you do the same for me? I said, well, of course I would. So he said, well, there you go. So I eventually relented. I think at the time, even though I was saying no, it was a gift and I really wanted it, but I didn't want to put him in harm's way because it was my younger brother sort of thing. But it is another lease of life for me and a gift of life, so I am really appreciative for what he's done.
We talked about it for such a long time, and in the end I just said, look, I want to donate my kidney, so it's not to avoid going through that misery. I think, I just didn't want Alison to go through it, and I didn't want to go through it. So it seemed like the best option, just to accelerate it and cut the dialysis out and go straight to the donation.
A year ago today, that it was on television. Somebody had come forward on BBC News saying that they had given an altruistic kidney donation. And my first thoughts were, yes, I'm up for that. More than happy to do that, more than happy to help. I've been a blood donor since I was 18. I then progressed on to donating platelets. I work for the blood service. I'm very committed to helping out whenever possible. So as soon as I knew that the answer is yes, you can, first thing I did was call up. And I called up that very same morning. My wife was not happy at all. I was being completely honest. I didn't tell her until after the initial consultation, because I thought, well, if I'm told no in the first place, there's no need for her to worry, because I know that my wife is a bit of a worrier. I told her. Her initial reaction was to say, absolutely not, I do not want you to do this. And then I did explain how important it felt to me. And my wife eventually said, I don't want you to do it, but I will still support you because I know how important it is to you.